Good day. Welcome to another version of today's Living Word. I'm Dwayne Matz. Glad to have you with us. We're continuing in the book of Job. And by the way, a funny little thing happened to me on the way through the book of Job just last week. The plight of a widowed mother of four living in Sri Lanka was brought to my attention. And I was asked to send off a note to encourage her in the suffering that she was experiencing. Well, it just so happened that I found myself in Job 5:11, where we are today, and this is in part the note that I sent to her. The story of Job is instructive as it relates to our sufferings here on earth. Job lost everything, including his good health. All 10 of his children were killed in a windstorm. All his cattle and crops were destroyed by raiders. Things were so bleak for him that his wife told him to curse God and die. 3 of Job's friends came along to comfort him in his affliction, but they just made matters worse, telling Job, "Oh, you must have sinned to have that kind of affliction in your life." Well, in spite of their bad advice, they did pass along some truths concerning affliction. And here's one of them that we find in Job 5:11, spoken by Eliphaz. He said, "He, God, sets on high those who are lowly, and those who mourn are lifted to safety." In other words, God sees our afflictions, and help is on the way. If not in this life, then in the next. And so we learn to persevere in our troubles. We have the hope of the poor beggar Lazarus, whom Jesus told us about in Luke 16:19 through 25. There was a certain rich man who was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. But there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, full of sores, like Job, who was laid at his gate, desiring to be fed with crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. So it was that the beggar died, and was carried by the angels to Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And being in torments in Hades, he lifted up his eyes and saw Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. Then he cried out, "Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame." But Abraham said, "Son, remember that in your lifetime you received your good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and you are tormented." Eventually, the beggar's relief, Lazarus's relief, came, and the words of Psalm 113, verse 7, rang true. He, God, raises the poor out of the dust and lifts the needy out of the ash heap. Help is on the way, beloved. Persevere. Your afflictions are working on your behalf to produce exceeding glory. 2 Corinthians 4:17 reminds us, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory." Well, I hope that note helped encourage that widow in Sri Lanka. I know that scripture from 2 Corinthians 4:17 sure helps me as I recover from the effects of COVID. Just think, far more exceeding and weighty glory is on the way for all of God's enduring children. I'm Dwayne Matz, and that's today's Living Word.